Picture this. I'm talking with a financial coach and I ask them, who is your ideal client or who do you primarily work with? The two answers that I get by far the most is number one, people that make a lot of money but really struggle with managing it, or answer number two, I don't know. That's it. One of those two answers almost every single time. And if that's you, you're going to have a spotty side hustle at best, working mostly with people that you already know. And you're not going to be able to have these big transformations that your dream clients are looking for and the big transformations that you are looking for. We need to get specific when you are solving a set of problems for a specific ideal client. This is how you get no-brainer yeses from dream clients. In this video right here, I recently talked with Hannah, who went through my Become a Coach program earlier this year, and because she chose a very specific ideal client, her business has exploded. If she would have approached or gotten in front of the same people that she's working with now and said, I help people who make a lot of money learn how to budget, how many clients do you think she would have gotten? I don't think she would have gotten any. I think she would have gotten 0 people to respond to that message because that messaging, that style doesn't resonate with the people, the ideal client that she's working with now. She was able to get very specific on the problems that she solved for them, and that really resonated with them. Let's get to it. One of my absolute favorite niches for financial coaches to have as their ideal client is small businesses. And many of you know I got my start in my entrepreneurial journey as a bookkeeper, and I was shocked. And I mean, about to fall out of my chair, shocked when I started talking with these small businesses. I started seeing the behind the scenes, looking at the books, and all of these small business owners were just winging it. The stats, of course, are that 70 to 80% of individuals are living paycheck to paycheck, and I would bet my life on the fact that the stat is the exact same for small businesses. And one more very interesting piece about this is that I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of the small businesses in my area, and when I drive by their office or their storefront or whatever that might be, you'd never know from the outside. They look like they have it all together, especially in the suburbs. It's all about appearances. But then I step into the office, I start to dive into the books, and they're years behind on taxes. They have no idea what their overhead is. They're kind of winging their payroll, and this is common. And when you stop and really start to think about this, it does make sense. This is why CEOs hire CFOs, Chief Financial Officers. The entrepreneur is the visionary, the free spirit, the hustler. And financial coaches are very uniquely gifted in that we fill both roles within our own company. We are the entrepreneur and the visionary, but we are also the chief financial officer. We are in the details. We are on top of our own books. Small businesses need help. Partner with them so they can focus on what they do best and not be held back by the things that they were just never taught. Within this category of small businesses, that's still pretty broad, so here's some ways that you can further narrow this down to really align with your skills. Maybe you want to help trade school grads who want to start their own business. Maybe you want to help cannabis businesses that are struggling with their bookkeeping and organization. Restaurant owners falling behind in their finances on thin margins. A great resource for you would be to watch Marcus Lemonis's show, The Profit. Maybe you want to help seasonal businesses balance their income and expenses year round. There are so many, and you can narrow this down much further. You could also help real estate agents or wholesalers with highly variable and inconsistent income. Farmers that are living month to month financially, or you could do a niche that you personally know really, really well. I had a coach go through my Become a Coach program, and she was a massage therapist. She owned her own business, and her heart and really her passion and her skills aligned with helping other massage therapists not only learn how to manage their personal finances, but also their business finances. Before I reveal another favorite financial coaching niche, I don't want you to forget that really picking an ideal client is just one piece of the puzzle. And I would love to give you another very key component today. Down below in the description box, you can click a link and go to my free pricing workshop and learn how to price your services. I created this free 60-minute pricing workshop for coaches just like you. I've gotten some amazing feedback from this pricing workshop, and it's very hands-on. My goal for you is that after you watch this pricing workshop, you'll have very tangible next steps that you can take to narrow down your pricing. Click below in the description box the link, and that will take you to the free pricing workshop. Another one of my favorite financial coaching niches or ideal client is helping stay-at-home moms make money online. There is not a week that goes by that I am not having a conversation with a new mom or a soon-to-be mom that is trying to drum up some extra income that she can make online from home. And not out of guilt or boredom or obligation, but millennials truly are the first generation ever to have such an opportunity to make money online, and this is becoming more and more widespread. I know there's always the early innovators who figured this out in the early days of the internet, but I'm a prime example. I mean, I took my business from 0 to 6 figures in 3 years, and I'm not crazy special. There's a lot of individuals that are doing this. And there's also other content creators and coaches that are making bank teaching people how to do this. And this is not necessarily easy. I don't want to build this up like millions of millennials are just handed the keys to the magic kingdom of making money online, but it is very possible with a lot of upfront work. I personally think that this would be a great ideal client to really narrow down, zero in on, and then make just super valuable content for moms or really anybody who wants to stay home and support their family. Of course, you can also teach them things like budgeting, investments, retirement, whatever. There's a lot of components that go along with the personal finance of making money from home, but that would be your main point within your program and really your main marketing and messaging to your ideal client. And the problem that I want you to solve right now is to like this video if you are getting value here today and this video is helping you solve your problem of not having an ideal client. And my third favorite financial coaching niche or ideal client are pastors who are struggling in their personal finances and also in their churches. I've seen this one pretty consistently, especially before I had really narrowed down my niche. I had some pastors reach out to me for help, and I think that this is only going to increase since 2020. And a lot of times what happens is pastors will put their own personal finances on the line. They will sacrifice their personal finances in order to help out the church, and then they get really burnt by this. I will say, when I had a couple pastors reach out to me for help in their personal finances and their church finances, they needed a lot of mindset work, and I bet that this would be true for a lot of pastors. I know from personal experience when I worked in a Christian workplace before I started my business, they were in a really tough spot with their finances. They were losing money each year. They were only paying interest on some of their loans. And the feeling around it was kind of like, just ignore it and it'll go away, or let's just pray that God somehow makes up for our shortcomings. Deflecting responsibility and sticking your head in the sand does not glorify God at all. Like I said, I think a lot of mindset work will need to happen if you narrow down and really decide on this ideal client. For example, you can fully trust God and make a plan for the financial future of your personal finances and the finances of the church. They are not mutually exclusive. If I was pivoting to this niche in particular, I would specialize in helping churches house hack. So traditional house hacking is when you move into a multifamily property, so a duplex, a triplex, and you live in one unit and then you rent out the other units to pay for the mortgage. It's a very sustainable way to get into real estate. And this is so crazy, but recently Ethan and I visited a church that house hacked their property. They house hacked their mortgage. So what happened was they bought this building for $1.7 million, a crazy amount. out, right? And they built out the auditorium, the classrooms, and then they built out a separate section of the building to rent out. They rent it out now for $10,000 a month, which completely covers their mortgage. This is so genius. When the pastor was telling us this, I was like, this guy knows what's up. He's in it to win it. Because to be fair, it is a little silly to pay millions of dollars for a facility that's primarily used between the hours of 7 to noon on a Sunday morning. Helping churches house hack their way to financial freedom. Just think about how different our country would be if our churches were debt-free and could really help people the way that they want to. I am like talking myself into this ideal client right now. I hope that this video was immensely helpful for you as you are navigating what financial coaching ideal client is going to be right for you and the direction of your business. Really dream big with this. And if you fill a burning need that people have, you will attract dream clients who want you to solve that same problem for them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.